Hi my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming to you from my not so matching couch to tell you a story about a dumb lady. So sit back, grab your popcorn. It's really not going to be that long, but you never know. You never know where my mind might wander. So the story is going to be about a friend that I had growing up that ended up screwing me over big time as an adult. We all have one of those friends in our lives. I just happen to have many. But this story is about one in particular that could have ruined my entire life. So I just wanted to preface that. I'm not going to be giving a lot of details because a lot of people know who she is. And so I don't want to give too much away about her. I'm just going to be giving the details of the reason why we are no longer friends. So I met her when I was 6 years old. We went to the same daycare type thing together, and we hit it off from the start. But at the same time, we were kind of like, we always butt heads, and so I don't know why that wasn't like a red flag for me as an adult, but we were always butting heads. And so, you know, we went to different schools in elementary school. We went to the same school in middle school, different high schools, but we all pretty much stayed in contact, on and off. We stayed in contact. And so when I became an adult, there was one incident that made it like I should have known that she was not like a super great person, but there was a second incident where I should have really known that she wasn't a great person, and I finally figured it out. So the first instance was when we finally rekindled our friendship. We had just gotten over like a year of not talking because we weren't friends. We kind of like squashed our beef and started hanging out again. And at the time, this was like well before I even met Keith. I was just like hanging out with this person that was my brother's friend or whatever, and he liked her and I didn't know, and she knew that I kind of had a crush on him, and she took him for herself anyway. So we stopped being friends after that just because I was petty and young and didn't want to move on from that. So we stopped talking, and then they broke up eventually due to some of her habits, which you'll find out later in the video what those habits were, and we all just kind of stopped talking to her for a while. Then she came back into my life again, and she was in a rough spot in her life, and so I, being the save-a-hoe type of person that I am, decided to bring her to California with me when I came back to Nevada to visit my parents. I thought that maybe I could help her find her center being, find her way back into what like a reality type situation would be. And so like I said, I played Captain Save-A-Hoe, and I took her to California with me. There's a lot in between that, but that stuff is pretty irrelevant to the story. But basically, she was not allowed to live with me, but she asked me to not tell her parents the truth about that because she was going to be staying with somebody that they wouldn't have approved of. And I, like an idiot, did not tell the truth to her parents fully. And I regret that. And I did tell her parents eventually when they found out that we had lied, and it was just a big mess, and I kind of still regret that to this day, because I feel like I kind of enabled her to go down, not enabled, because I didn't do anything, didn't tell her to do anything, but like I gave her too much freedom, even though it wasn't my responsibility to handle her freedom. So anyway, she was staying a lot at my apartment, and my roommate wasn't like, he thought she was pretty or whatever, but he could tell that something was off about her. They could tell that she had some problems with certain things, and they decided that it'd be best if she didn't stay with us as much. So I told her, you know, you need to kind of like stay at your house a little bit more, and we'll just meet up in the middle. So that's what we were doing for a while. And then she asked to sleep over while I was out of town. And I, asked my roommate. He said that was fine. And I went out of town. Come back. At this point, Keith and I are together. And she had stolen something from my roommate. And my roommate noticed that she had taken something. And he basically dumped out all of her stuff. And in the midst of dumping her stuff out, found piles and piles and piles of my stuff in her bag that she had planned to take with her and sell. So she had actually been at the pawn shop on her way back from the pawn shop when we had called her and asked her to come home because we just needed to like talk to her for a minute. And I think she kind of sensed that she was in trouble because of the way that we were talking. And at first she didn't know that I was there, and then when she walked in the door she looked like she was going to poop her pants because her stuff was all sprawled out on the floor. Now I don't necessarily agree with my ex-roommate dumping her stuff out, but we definitely found what we were looking for. Literally, like, I had a makeup palette that said, "Hello, my name is Catherine," taped to the back, and she had it in her bag. And so, like, there's a ton of stuff. The main thing is that she stole my dead grandmother's jewelry and she tried to pawn it. That's where she was at when we had called her. She was at the pawn shop pawning my dead grandmother's jewelry. It's not like she didn't know that that was my dead grandmother's jewelry. She was fully aware of what it was. She didn't care. She was looking for money. She was looking for quick money. And little did she know that even though it is sentimental to me, it's not worth anything to a pawn shop because it's not real. It was costume jewelry. A lot of it was like silver plated, not actual silver, etc., etc. So, we basically parted ways after that, and I offered to give her a ride back to Nevada, and she declined, and I haven't heard from her since. That is the story about how I lost my best friend. I feel like I get tangled up in these kind of friendships all the time where like I give and give and give and give, and then I like give too much, not realizing that like people don't normally do that. And so yeah, it was interesting to definitely see that backfire on me and give me a life lesson to let me know that like not everybody is your friend, not everybody can be trusted, and not everybody has your best interest in mind. So be careful who you're friends with. Longevity means nothing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Please stay tuned for another video either this upcoming Friday or Monday, depending on the week's activities, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.